3-tank meta all the time. You are seeing squishy DPS characters coming out like Genji, and these players that have been so efficient on these characters that can be absolute game changers like Genji now get the chance to shine. And I'd like to see Slidzor definitely come out on that. He's going to be on the attack first. So again, teams love running dive compositions to get on top of that diner and just push the team off again. And like I said, it's all about getting cart distance at the same time as doing that. But these guys have a very strong dive just with Rain and Slidzor.
And do you want to talk us a little bit through Dench's pick here?
Yeah, well, Dench, of course, is running that Zenyatta. That's going to be instead of the Lucio. Now, you're going to lose the speed boost, right? So you're not going to have any form of speed boost at all as a team. That's a big thing to give up. What instead you're gaining is the massive burst potential that comes out from Discord Orb. You can suddenly burst someone down, and then again, you've also got long-range damage and a counter to big AoE ultimates, which we do see coming out a lot.
And I do think the combination there with the Zenyatta and the Genji is going to be very, very strong. The Slidzor's managed to find a very early pick, but as we go, they are going to be pushing their way onto the payload. Coming around this first corner, we're going to see how this first engagement goes. Cool. I do really like Spoon's position there. He's in a very sneaky spot there. Might be able to get one of those early picks.
And it's all about those early picks. If you can get one off, then basically the fight won. The dive is coming out, and watch the Genji and the Winston. If they can get on, force them off the roof, they may be in for a win.
And Spoon picks up that first kill as we talked about in that sneaky position onto the Ana as well. Very, very important kill. That's going to be a second one there. It's going to be 3 kills in the favor of Scylla Esports. Very, very good opener right here.
Whoa, see you later, Caramel Koala, as he gets booped off the hill. Now again, all about those picks at the start. We've talked about it so much. Spoon's one of the best Roadhog players in the region. Almost single-handedly won that fight just by getting a pick at the start and then catching that slippery Genji. And in fact, you can actually see that's been changed off to a McCree. They're not dealing with that anymore. They've got a lot of long-range damage. They're not going for a dive comp anymore. They're going for a death ball on the payload.
And Caramel Koala finding a couple of headshots there, doing a nice bit of damage, almost dropping himself, but manages to stay alive. Riav almost dropping down there as well. Slidzor looking in a very tight, precarious situation as well. And the Lucio goes down there to Wuvo. The man himself, very good aim there indeed. And it looks like the rest of Okami Wolfblade are going to have to fall back. Oh, the attack visor comes in.
This is aggressive. They're going in, committing a lot just to buy a little bit of extra time. Because remember, the payload is still there. They've got to win this team fight. If they've bought all this extra time, they've committed so many ultimates, they're still going in. But the respawn advantage is absolutely there. And down goes Sparky, the Reinhardt.
And here they are going to be coming back in right now, as you talked about that spawn advantage, and they're going to be able to get a little bit of distance here on the payload as they come around the corner. The rest of Scylla obviously going to be trying to get back in time.
Now, the key thing is they've bought enough time to come in for a second team fight, and there's a lot coming out now. They've got a lot of ultimates to work with. They can still hold this.
And that was a great graviton there. It looks like Wuvo should be able to hold this down here from the top. He's obviously got Saphira there on the Ana. Sparky going to be able to do a little bit of blocking there as the rest of Wolfblade are going to have to fall back yet again.
And they still didn't commit many ultimates to that project. Only throwing out that Graviton Surge means that the rest of his team could start building up the ultimates. You can actually see them charging up quite a lot. Now, Okami Wolfblade, to their credit, didn't use any ultimates in that fight. They're also saving up quite a lot, but because Slidzor swaps at the start means he doesn't have his Deadeye yet. They're still walking into what is potentially an ultimate disadvantage if they're not careful. They need to be very careful about how they do this. They see, because they're moving up the side here, they're moving as a death ball. They don't have the dive comp.
Oh, and that's a great biotic grenade right there. Wuvo picking up a very fast double kill, and that is going to be the rest of Scylla Esports just wiping Okami Wolfblade off this map.
Oh, and that was so painful for the time for the shield to go down as well. They just jumped on that opportunity immediately. They don't have a dive comp of their own. They've just got Spoon sitting back and hooking people in. Particularly, I believe he hooked Rain there to bring the shield down, and then the rest of the team fell like flies. Again, we only saw one ultimate come out from the Okami Wolfblade, so they've still got the rest of them there. But honestly, with Scylla Esports, how they're playing, but there's the Graviton up on the roof.
And there it comes again. What a great biotic. They have no way to heal this. The Graviton Surge probably won't be able to find enough there. 2 players falling on the side of Okami Wolfblade, only 1 player on the side of Scylla Esports, and Scylla Esports should be able to push this one out as well.
It was Sparky that fell, but honestly, they didn't capitalize on it at all. They could have moved in on the Reinhardt that fell down at the start. That's an Earth Shadow that wasn't going to be committed to the fight, but instead, again, Okami, they're only committing a few ultimates at a time. That was 2 ultimates this time, but they're still not winning fights. 25 seconds to go. It's going to be their final push. They need to make this one count, and they've been yet to get the payload around this first corner.
And look at that ultimate advantage there on Scylla Esports. We've talked about this, their power and how good they are at holding the ultimates, but what a great push.
Shield!
But an even better shield coming in there. Wuvo picks up another double kill with that Helix rocket. Wuvo doing so much damage. He's got the tactical visor up as well. and the nano boost comes in as well. Wuvo just going to be cleaning this one up.
That is absolutely devastating. There's no way Okami Wolfblade can come back from this. We're going into overtime, and what a stellar defense coming out from Scylla Esports. We hyped them up on the desk, and it was not for no reason. I said they have the possibility of holding you at point 1, and they did just that. Okami Wolfblade did not push that payload at all.
As they came out of the gate, and I really like that idea behind the Genji and the Zenyatta there, and I thought that was going to be really nice. They might have been able to find a surprise pick on one of the squishier support characters there, obviously to no avail, and then playing at that ultimate disadvantage for the rest of the game. They're not even getting past the first real corner. Very, I guess, demoralizing stuff there for Okami. Let's see if they can come back better on the defense here.
Again, that's a big ask, though. The payload did not move very far at all, so Scylla Esports have a lot of space to work with. They have, like 4 minutes to go just around the corner. All they need to do is pressure them enough up on the roof and have one guy pushing the payload, supporting from the backline. That can be your Lucio, that can be your Ana, anyone that can just heal and support from back there.
And I really like this. Talk us through this Sombra pick here.
Yeah, I mean, this is really interesting, right? I mean, Sombra can bring a lot on the offense. One big thing that we see quite often, I mean, on payload maps it doesn't happen as often, but what you can do is you can hack a health pack that's nice and close to your spawn point where you can safely go back, you move out, take a bit of poke damage, move back in, and that hacked health pack actually builds a lot of ultimate. It's one of the fastest ways to get your ultimate ready, and then you can go in with one ultimate advantage. And remember, people like to group up on that roof of the diner there. If Flank gets that ultimate, and Okami Wolfblade are not ready for it, suddenly you've got a humongous EMP, your shields are gone, Reinhardt's useless, and then the rest of the team can just dive in.
So I really do like the look of that. And one more thing to note there, obviously Slidzor J, they're going to be picking up the Mei. How do you feel about that one?
This is a really defensive team, Tom. It does not have a lot of long range at all. So they really need to trap off the front line, take care of them, and then make it so that they have a numbers advantage, because if the fights go evenly, right, no one is there to get onto Project. He's going to be sitting at the back line firing in and having no one contest him at all. You've also got Saphira on Ana, who can still have a big effect on the fight. That's two players that are going to be uncontested unless their front line gets demolished, and that's what Okami Wolfblade need to do in this first fight.
And that Sombra did get changed there at the last second. A lot of damage going out right there, almost managing to drop Pandy down, but does manage to stay alive, as there's just a little bit of chip damage coming in from both of these teams.
Look at the payload. It's already inching further ahead. Okami Wolfblade have to go in now.
And that they do close in, but Wuvo doing so much damage here in the back lines, and now they are almost being split up. And what a nice sleep there from the Ana, and this is going to be very, very difficult now for them to recover without that Genji damage.
Yeah, now they are losing this team fight. It's definitely not going to go their way. They went for a bit of an interesting team comp, a bit of a death ball, but they've got Wuvo to jump onto the top of the roof. They were looking to get a good grenade. They did, but they didn't capitalize too much from it. And because of that, oh wait, hang on, never mind, I completely lied. They just won that team fight and completely smashed through the first points.
And there we have it. It's going to be Scylla Esports picking that one up extremely quickly in the first match of the day. And we...
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's what we expected to happen when we were talking about it on the desk. Scylla Esports completely the favorites coming in here. We tried to find ways for Okami to win here, but it just looked like they were completely outclassed here today. There's no contest in it at all. Scylla Esports got the first point just immediately after the first fight, and Okami Wolfblade.
Oh, here's that big biotic grenade that we saw from the first defense here as well. What an absolutely great play here from Saphira.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's basically what won the fight there. Spoon's also picking up a few hooks along the way as well. But again, I'm just going to bring it back.